Colonel Harlan was known across the base for two things: his spotless uniform and his temper. He walked the corridors like they owed him something, boots ringing against concrete, jaw locked as if the world itself were an inconvenience. When he shoved Captain Mara Ellison's head into the toilet in the officers' restroom, it wasn't because she'd broken protocol, it was because she'd corrected him, quietly, professionally, during a briefing in front of others. The door had slammed, the words had been sharp, and then came the moment that would fracture the entire base in ways no one expected. Mara didn't scream. That was the first thing that unsettled him. She braced her hands against the porcelain, water sloshing, the smell of disinfectant burning her nose, and she waited. She waited because she knew something Harlan didn't. The restroom camera outside the door had been repaired 2 days earlier, and the base had just implemented a new internal audit system that recorded access logs down to the second. Harlan thought fear lived in humiliation. He didn't realize restraint could be louder than panic. When he finally let go, muttering a warning about knowing her place, Mara stood slowly, straightened her uniform, and looked at him. Her face was calm, almost blank, but her eyes held something that made him hesitate. It wasn't defiance, it was certainty. She said nothing as she walked past him, water dripping from her hair onto the tile, each drop sounding like a countdown. By the end of the day, the base felt off. Conversations stopped when doors opened. Phones were checked twice. Officers lingered longer than usual at terminals, rereading messages that hadn't been there that morning. At exactly 1900 hours, every screen in the command wing flickered once and refreshed. A notification appeared, plain, official, impossible to ignore, announcing an emergency ethics review effective immediately, authorized by Central Command. No explanation, no names, just a directive that all senior officers were to remain on base until further notice. Harlan laughed when he saw it. He told himself it was coincidence, that reviews happened all the time, that men like him didn't fall because of one incident. But laughter didn't stop the way his chest tightened when 2 military police officers appeared outside his quarters that night. Not to arrest him, they said, just to escort him to an interview room. Standard procedure, routine. That word again, routine. Mara sat alone in her quarters, hair washed, uniform pressed, hands steady as she reviewed a single file on her tablet. She hadn't sent it to Central Command herself. She hadn't needed to. The system had done that automatically when she logged the incident as conduct unbecoming, attached timestamps, access logs, witness proximity data, and a brief, factual description. No emotion, no adjectives, just truth arranged so neatly it couldn't be dismissed. The interviews went on for hours, then days. Harlan wasn't the only one called in. Stories surfaced, quiet ones at first, then louder, about doors closed too firmly, careers stalled without explanation, voices raised until rooms shrank around them. The base commander stopped attending meals in the officers' hall. The air itself seemed to hold its breath. On the 4th morning, a transport arrived unannounced, no ceremony, no speeches. By noon, Harlan's name had been removed from the directory. His office was sealed. His medals were boxed. No one saw him leave, but everyone knew he was gone. That was the moment the base truly went silent, not with fear, but with recognition, the kind that settles when a long-standing wrong finally tips into daylight. Mara returned to duty the next day. No applause followed her down the corridor. No one thanked her. They didn't need to. Officers met her eyes now. Some nodded. Some looked away, ashamed. The silence that followed her wasn't empty anymore. It was heavy with understanding. Systems mattered. Documentation mattered. And power, when exposed, shrank quickly. Weeks later, during a routine briefing, a junior officer corrected a senior one. The room tensed just for a second, then relaxed when the correction was acknowledged without incident. Mara watched from the back, expression unreadable, and made a small note on her tablet. Not about misconduct, about progress. The toilet where it happened was replaced the following month, part of a facility upgrade. No plaque marked the change. No one spoke about why, but everyone remembered. and that memory, quiet, unspoken, shared, changed the base more thoroughly than any shouted order ever could.